time. I would like to give you today a general introduction. Open Social has a lot of options, so we cannot possibly cover everything. So today I would like to give you the basis for you to start playing with the platform. So how do you create an event? How do you create a topic? What are the roles, visibilities, and things like that? So you can really go down to business. And if you have, I sent some logins, you have the users, you as site manager, you can create more. So please give each other access or request to me. I will create users for you also, no problem there. This is the first version. So it's a base installation with everything is working there. Everything is available like any other row. The only thing we don't have yet are the languages. So right now we are working with the English version. Let's say add image or post community, all these strings, they can be found in Weblate. That is our translation tool. And you will have to go in and start translating. Of course, all the other rows, I'm sure they will be able to help you out, give you tips and tricks. It's just a time-consuming operation because there are a lot of strings. So please make sure that you understand this, that you set aside enough time to work on it. We cannot, you can decide to go live at any point, of course, even with just the English, if that still benefits your community. That's something we can agree down the line in January, probably. But the end goal will be to have 9 languages fully translated, so you can switch around in your profile and decide which language do you want. So this platform doesn't have languages, but to show you how it is, Switzerland has languages. So you can see, for example, we have Italian, French, and German that will be on your platform. We'll have a longer list. This one is when you are not logged in, and when you are logged in, you can change the languages in your own profile. So you won't have this this drop down. You can set your own language in your own profile, and then the site will be translated in your language. Okay. Then if you don't have any question to start with, I want to start with groups. I think groups are the base of the community in general. Groups are like a container where you can have specific users, you can have specific content inside the group, and you can invite people to groups, and you can create your own micro universe inside the website. And so every community of Greenwire relies a lot on groups. So I think is the nicest place to start. Interface. So now I'm a site manager. I think like every one of you, I have the same interface. The user won't have all these options on the site. We'll only see the main bar and the main options. So we'll always use this plus to create content. You can also go on the left, and you have add content also here. Here you have many more options. Of course, we will go through a few of them. I think today is we don't want to overload with that, but next week or the week after that, we can do another workshop and more down to configuration, to really options, and to personalize better the platform. So every content is here. We'll start with groups, then I will try to summarize the others as well. On CEE, you have 2 types of groups. You have secret groups. Only site manager can create secret groups. So as you can read, user can only join by invitation, and the group itself and its content are hidden from non-members. So as a spatial type of group was based upon request of Greenpeace because of activists and that kind of concept. So it is a special group, but the content won't be visible to any other member in the communities. The information about the user won't be visible. You cannot search for this. You can only be invited by the group manager to that. More common is the flexible groups. So flexible groups are, let's call it the new type of group on Open Social. For you will be the type of group in Open Social. With flexible groups, you can create different types of groups and content. So you see, you have these 3 checkboxes here. That's what you have to master at the beginning. So really to understand what that means, because then with that, you can really do a lot of things. So choose the allow visibility settings for the group content. That's very complicated sentence to say something very simple. So if I check this checkbox and nothing else, I'm creating a public group. It's a group that is visible for non-logged in users, for logged in users, And inside this group, I can create public content. So an event that everyone can see, a topic that anyone can see, a blog that anyone can see. That's the type of group I'm creating if I check this. If I check community, I'm creating a group that is possible to join only if you're already a member of Greenwire. So if you already have an account, then you can join this group. And after you join the group, you can actually see, the content that you have visible in this group is only visible if you have an account on OpenSocial. Then the third is a bit more closed. So it's only group members. So it's a group that allows the creation of content visible only to group members. So we normally call it closed groups. So if you want your events to be kept only in your group, if you want your topics, your content to be available only if you are a member of this group, this is the option for you to set. And later on, you can create a topic and say, okay, only if you are part of this group, you will be able to see it. The good part about flexible groups is that you can combine it. So if I can check all three, great, I can do it. What happens now, I'm creating a group, and then case by case, I can decide, okay, now I have an event that I want everyone to see. I can set it later on. I will show you how. Now I have another event that is actually only for people that are already part of this group. Then you will set that inside the group. So it gives you much more flexibility on what you can create. So you can decide later on how to set your content. But of course, gives you also some power. So you have to always think, okay, who do I want people to see this? We have some issue on other platform, for example, that say, okay, I have my closed group, but everyone can see the content. Well, it's because you set it incorrectly. This is how you should set it. So that's very important to understand how these settings work, because they're really powerful, especially if you want your content to be to have some kind of privacy. That's the first, and you will see more once we create the group. Very, very important. I think this one are the newest options available in 9.x, the latest version of OpenSocial, and they're going to be released for all the other enrolls next Monday. So actually, for now, only France and you have it. You can create a group where that is open to join. So everyone can see the group, click on the join button, and become a member of the group. I can create a group where is invite only. So there is no button. I cannot join directly. A group manager can invite me via email from the group or add me directly in the group. And the third one is a new one, is a request to join. So I can see the button, but the button has a label, request to join. If I click on it, I can send a message to the group organizer and say, hey, can I please join your group? And then the group organizer can decide case by case, yes, you can, yes, no, you cannot, maybe because it's a restricted group, I only want to have a few people there, or just you want to screen and making sure that you don't have too many members. Up to you what the reason is. So we'll create a request to join in this case. Then simple information, so my group, you can add your nice description to the group. It's a full HTML editor. You will get to know this very well. It's in every content type. So you have the classic styling, bold, italic, with the line on, alignment left, right, nothing special. Links, that probably there will be used a lot. And specify the link. And you can also specify to open this link in a new tab. This one is something you have to experiment. Lists. You can add images. You can also add videos. So if you click here, you can type the YouTube video that you want to embed, save it, embed it, and it's gonna be in this description. So pretty easy to do if you have something that you want to share. Group image is the header image, the big image on top of the page. You will see it in a second. You can crop it as you want. Fit. Yeah, the small hero, the large hero, and the small option, depending where the image is shown, because of course there is the main page, there is the big image on top. There are some teasers where there is a tiny image, so you will use another one. So the small one, the square one, and so on. You have location. So on Greenwire, we have a geolocation. So if you put an exact location on groups, on events, we store the coordinates. At the moment, we only use the coordinates for the events. If there are coordinates, we display them on a map, on the event page. Let me see if Germany has it as an example. Let's see. I'm not speaking German, is not really helpful here. Yeah, okay, here you have the map. So you can see, you can scroll up and down. Here they have 5 events in the same location, but potentially you could have events spread all over Germany. And of course, once you will have multiple countries, you will have these little markers in your country in the location you want. If you want to place a geolocation, can be that an event is just online, you don't want to, there is no sense to put a location. But in case you place it, a map will be displayed like you see here. Great. You can always specify a nice URL. So by default, the system will create a URL for you, like a group, my first group. If you want, you can just specify a nicer one, like demo group, very nice name. And this one will be the URL of your group. New option introduced in this version is also this. I think is really useful for engagement. So you can not check it, nothing will happen. But if you check it, you can decide to send a message to new users. So when a user joins this group, we'll receive a little notification with the text you are specifying here. So welcome to our group. And of course, you can maybe give more information. You can point the users in the right direction. Maybe this group is about, I don't know, cooking, and you point them to some materials, some blogs with recipes or stuff like that. Then here you can already put the link. So you just get the ball rolling right away from the beginning. You save it, and now we have our first group. So you can see what we have as the title, the header image that we put in. You have on the left always the information about this group. So you know how many members there are, how many events are created inside this group, how many topics are created there. You know if there are new members, will be displayed here. In this case, there is me. You know who's the group manager right away. So if a user visits this page, maybe can contact the group manager if he wants for any reason to have more information. And you have the information about the group. This is basically what you see when you visit the page. And now let me show you as a normal user what the normal user will see, because this one is a site manager, create the group. And now I want to go to, now I'm a normal user. So I already have an account on the platform. Actually, sorry, let me show you. Since we created this group as also as public, it's visible for everyone to see. So I'm not logged in. I'm going to the About page. I see the informations. And since I created as request to join, this is what I see. So I have a request. Of course, in order to join the group, I have to sign up the platform, but I can see the information even if I'm not logged in. So now I want to log in. Okay. Now, since I click on request to join, I have the pop-up, so I can leave a message for my request. Please let me join. This one is the request to join, and later we can do the simpler example that join directly, for example. So what happened now is that I sent a request. You see the message here. The button is not is request sent, so you know what you have done. You can also cancel your request if you change your mind. And now you're waiting. So what you're waiting is for the group manager to actually approve it. So I refresh the page, and what you can see here is that there is a new request to join this group. If I click there, I have an overview. You can have 50, hundreds. Hopefully you have a lot of requests. You can see who requested it. You can see the message. You can see when it had happened, and you can approve or reject the membership. So let me approve it. Confirmation. And this is the full process of requesting membership to a group. So this one is removed from the overview. And now you can see I have 2 members. So this user is actually now becoming a member, an official member of the platform. You can see I refresh here, and now I'm joined. I'm not requesting anymore. I'm actually officially a member of the group. So this is how you can request to join. But in any group, the group manager can also manage the members. So manage the members means that you can add, remove, change things. So you always go to Manage Member tab, and you have these options here. So Add Members is where you can manage the user. So first thing first, you can see the overview. You can always select members. You can always do some actions on the members, so edit, remove, or view the user. That's what you can do from this overview. You can export, you can change the roles, remove the member, or send emails to the group member. So all from this interface, just select the users that you want and then perform the action. So you can export from here. But if you want to add more users, then you have 2 options. Add directly, that's the most common. Hey, I already know that there is a user on the platform who wants to become a member of this this site, of this group. In this case, Balas. But I just start typing and I get the suggestions, and I can scroll down and I can add as many as I want at once. Once I save, the users are added directly to the group. So now I have 5 members in the group. And this is the common case when you already know the users. Maybe you create a new community, a new group on the platform, and you want to move some of the members from another group. You can also, and that's very powerful, invite users, external users or internal users. So you don't want to add them directly. You want to kind of to let them choose if they want to be part of it. So I can invite internal users, like let's see if I have someone new. I have my last there. Okay, Raquel, for example, is on the platform, but is not part of my group yet. I can select her, but I can also select invite someone that is not in the platform. So I can start typing an email address. Let me see, +6 because I'm not sure. Okay. And you, of course, with this, you can have maybe a mailing list where you can just copy paste all of them, copy them, paste them in here, and they will be automatically transformed in this widget. So the widget means that you can also remove it if you want. It's quite easy to use. You can have as many as you want. You can see your preview of the invite that will get sent. So it's nice for site manager to know which kind of communication you will have with your users. This email is translatable, so you could personalize in your own language, use the tone of voice of that you want to use in your own language. So that will be possible. This is what the user will receive. The user can click on View Group or learn more about Greenwire. Because of course, well, I never heard about Greenwire before. Maybe I don't want to join the group right away. I want to maybe first go to the home page and see some information. So that's what you will see. And once you're done, once you have your mailing list, you send the invites. And this process will take from 30 seconds to 30 minutes, depending on how many members you send. But once it's completed, what will happen is that I send the invites to those 2 users. So that's the complete process for the sending invites. Of course, the user will receive the email, can click on the link, come to the platform, and then join Greenwire, and then join the group. That's the procedure that you have. Questions so far? Because I think we just already talked a lot about groups. Maybe you have something that you want to clarify. You have the people overview here. So on the left, you have all the site manager actions that you can perform. And here you have all the list of users on your platform. So you can say, okay, I have Martin, Alina, and Luca, and I want to give them a role, add a role to the selected user. So you can say, okay, all of these, they are also content manager. So that's something you can learn slowly. If you have 20 people that you want to add at once, you can just give roles in that way. You have quite a few actions actually that you can see here. So you can send mass emails to users via this interface. So to maybe everyone on the platform even is quite common. If you want to activate everyone that is in Greenwire, you can send a mass email to everyone. You can export the users that you selected. So if you want to use it offline for any reason, you can do that from here. And there are less meaningful operations like block users or remove users or remove roles that maybe you will use once or twice, hopefully not too many times. But the export and the emails is something you most likely will use a lot. And you have filters here. Very used to see who was registered in the past week, for example, to maybe reach out to them, to welcome them on the platform. That's how you can easily filter. You can filter by name, role, permissions, status, a lot of things. You will get familiar, but this is the main overview and is on the people. Okay, let me move back to groups if you don't have other questions. If you have, please stop me anytime. So I'm going back to our group. So now I showed you how to create a group and how to invite people to the group. Now I will show you how to create content in the group. So for example, I can create an event. I can always create an event from here. So the plus is always your friend. Everything is in there. You can always, as a site manager and content manager, create content from the left menu, the managing menu, but you can also create it from inside the group. So there is no difference. The only thing that is different is that if I create an event from here, you can see the button. One thing will be per field, and is this field. So here I'm saying I'm creating an event inside this group, but you can also decide, hey, no, I don't want to create inside a group, so you can still change it there. Creating it inside a group, that means that it's not just floating around the website, but it's part of the group content, and then it will follow the group visibility options. I will go to that in a second. Event, you can say specify an event type. Is something you can configure as site manager. I just created 3 tags. It's just a label. It doesn't do anything special. I put all offline and online is something that will show up on the information of the event, but doesn't have a per se a functionality besides some information to the user. My event, again, similar to before, image as for the group, a nice header image. Very good. And then here is where is very important to understand. So right now we are creating an event inside the group. Great. This group, as we noticed before, gives you the option to create public content, community content, group members. So you can decide every time who can see this content. If I said public, that means that this content is available for everyone to see. So if I'm not logged into the platform, I can see this event. I can read the information about this event. If I set it to community, I can see this event only if I already have an account on the platform. If I click this group members, I can see this event only if I'm already a member of the group. Otherwise, I won't be able to join it. I won't be able to see all the information. So depending on how you want to create your content, your events, your topics, here is where you really have to be careful, because if it's something private, you don't want to create it public. So you have a lot of power, but a lot of responsibility here to make sure you configure it correctly. If maybe I'm going to confuse you now, but if you want to restrict this, so you say, okay, I'm sure that I will never create public content in my group. So you can fix the problem earlier. You can go to your group and remove the public option here. So now I am allowing people to only create community content and group member content. So you are creating an open group instead of a public group. So if I refresh here, you can see what happens. Now I can no longer select public. So there is no risk for anyone to create a public content inside this group. So you make the permission a bit more strict for this group. It's up to you how you wanna play it. So for example, now I can create a group members only, so it's only visible for this group members. Very good. Now that we set the visibility, now we can decide how people can join this event. It's very similar to what we have seen before for groups. So I can join this, enroll in this event clicking on a button, open to enroll. So if I see the event, I can click on it, I can become a member right away. Can be an invite only, so I don't have a button. An event manager needs to invite me to that event, or request to enroll. So as I can send, like I've seen before for groups, I can send a request. The event manager can confirm me or deny, and then I will be part of the group or the event or not. You have some more options here. So you can also decide to say, hey, I allow non-group members to enroll or request to enroll. So let's say you're creating a closed group, but you're still want one time to have an event inside the group for everyone, then you can click that option. It's maybe an edge case because now you have so much flexibility in the configuration of your group, but could happen that you create a group that only allows close content, only content visible for group members. But in this specific case, for this specific event, you also allow people that is not member of the group to enroll or request to enroll to that event. And then you can set a limit of enrollees. So let's say is a gathering, for example, for is a talk in my living room that we want to have 5-6 people in Corona time. We cannot be too many. Then you can put a limit, first come, first serve, especially if you create it open to enroll. First 5 people that sees the button, click on the button, done, and then you can no longer enroll. You can always change it later on, of course. You have another spot available, you can change it to 6, but that's to limit the availability to this event. Date, of course, an event has a date and a time. You can say all day, so if it's all day long, you can specify the date. If it starts at 10:40 and it ends at 12:10, that you can specify. You always see the time zone. This is the time zone of yourself, of the user creating the event, but if in another country you have a different time zone, the time that you will see is about your time zone. So it will always be correct. Like you having Google Calendar, I created at 10 in the morning, Amsterdam time is 9 in the morning at UK time. You will see 9 in the morning, of course. Same for this. Location, here's where you can specify really the physical location where the event is taking place. So let's try my home address, Netherlands. So you can see, you can specify the country. Based on the country you specify, you have different fields. Some countries requires more options than just street, postal code, and city, for example. The Netherlands only have this, that's perfect. Description of your event. You can again add images, add videos, all the above. You can add attachments as well. If you have some documentation for the event, you can always add it there. PDFs, other formats are allowed. You can extend it, so you're organizing the event, but maybe you are not the only one organizing it. You want to add more people to this to the organization. Then this person will always also be able to manage the users of the event if you want. So I can add one, I can add multiple, up to you. Last option down here, if it's published, every content that you will create on the site, you can always decide if it's published or not. That means that maybe it's not ready for everyone to be seen, so I unpublish it. Maybe tomorrow I have to add 2 images, more information on. I'm not sure about the time right now. It's like a preview. Okay, I put it there. Tomorrow we'll go back in, publish it, and everyone will be able to enroll. And I save this. Oh, my title. Let's see this. Okay. Okay, date, time. Perfect. And now we just create an event inside the group. You can see the information here. This event is in group, my group demo. I can always click on the link here, and I will be going to the group. So you always have all the information you need, I think, on the page. You have the tag of this event. We say online. You have the title. You have the creator of the event. You have the date when the event is taking place. You know that it's created in a group, and the group is my group demo. So you can see the sorry, this is the creation date, and this is the actual event date when and the time when it's taking place with a time zone, location available here, and all the content with the attachment that you can always click and download. So let me show you as a normal user. So this one is the creator, of course. Now I'm going to visit the event as a user. You can see I have a button and I can enroll. I create this event as open to enroll. So I'm already part of the group. I can see it and I can enroll in the event. When I click on enroll, now it says enrolled. You have successfully enrolled in this event, and now you are part of it. So you are actually joining. You have all the information. You can see everything in there. You'll be notified if something changes in the event, if the date changes, if the location changes, if there are comments, for example, on the event, you will be notified. If you are tagged, because you can also tag in the comment and things like that. For example, Alina, and please join as well. And if you tag someone, the person will be notified. That's how the process works. So yeah, you're now part of the event. You're now part of the group. You can comments that work on every content type. You can always decide to enable it or disable it per case. You can like a comment. You can reply on a comment. You can add an attachment to comments. There are simple options, I think, nothing mind-blowing. Just trying once or twice, you will see that it's very simple. You always have the information here. So I added Balas as an organizer. You can see the information here. You can always click on it. You can always click on the user to get more information, get in contact. It'd be nice to have some profile images, of course. Clicking on a user brings you to the user page where you can see more information if the user shares it. You can always set the privacy of your content, of your information. You can decide not to show your phone number, not to show email, not to show even your first name and surname if you want. But you can check on a user, you can check the stream, so that the activity he has done so far, the events that he's part of or he created, topics. Of course, we don't have contact right now, but that's how you can maybe get in contact with the user. Because you can also private message a user. So in this case, I'm on his profile. Hey, it seems that we have a lot of things in common with us. Why don't we organize something? And if I send this, Balas will receive a private message. You can see, and you can write back and forward. So it's not a real-time chat; it's messaging system. Yeah, and you can see here on the top, I have some icons. This one will be when Balas will see his message. If I click on it, probably I have yeah, that's where you have the overview of your messages or your history of your messages. Here's the notification center. Your members, for example, have been notified that a request has been approved 19 minutes ago. Here you will always have the nice icon, keeping track of what happened on the site. If a comment has been done, you have been tagged somewhere. Everything you need is in this place. And also, of course, in your profile here, you have a lot of information. You have to just explore it. We cannot cover them all today. Here you can see your invites. If you've been invited to a group, to an event, you can see it there. You will see a number. You can check your profile. You can check all your events, groups. You can see what you're following. If you're following some groups or events or taxonomies, you can see it here. Change your settings and profile. So let me quickly show your profile, because I think that's very important for a site manager to know these kind of things. So of course, here you can also engage the user, sending them maybe to your profile to share, to have a profile image, to have all their information, because we want an active community maybe. So all this information are nice. They make it more alive, more personal. You can specify some your function, your organization if you want, your phone number if you would like, your country of residence, introduce yourself, expertise. So just set up a nice profile that the user can see, other user can see. Important to know, there are the settings. So in the settings, you can change your password, your username, of course, the basics, but more important is the email notification. So on Open Social, we have a lot of notifications, a lot. And we are now restructuring it a bit, trying to make it maybe less intrusive. But you can also do it yourself right away. So by default, every time a person creates a post on my profile, I get an email immediately. Every time a person mentions me in a post, I get an email immediately. So it could be that if a platform is really big, a lot of users, a lot of activity, you receive a lot of notifications. So maybe for a post on my profile, I want only an email once a week. And then you will get a book notification once a week instead of every day. Or no, for this, I don't care. I don't want to be notified. This is about emails. So you will always see your notification anyway in the notification center. So you won't miss anything. If you log in, you will see that there, but at least you're not overloaded maybe with emails in your email box. If it's something, of course, as a site manager, that can happen quite often. And as you can see, there are a lot of notifications that go out. You can check them all, see what they do, understand, and try to nip and tuck exactly to what you care and what you need. One nice one, and you will have questions for sure at some point, only for site manager, is the system notification. This is called background process, technical term. What happens here is that if you send an email to all group members or to all the users in the platform or to all the users of an event, we have a background process. So that means that an email is getting sent, not something you see, is in the server side. Will take maybe 30 minutes, maybe 2 hours, depending on how many emails you're sending. Once this process is finished, you will get an email, a confirmation email saying, hey, with the background process for the email, invite all users to event, has been sent successfully, and you will get notified with this. So it's just a communication from the website to you to let you know that. So that could be useful to have it immediately, because then you can act upon it. I'm inviting users to my group. As soon as all the emails are sent, I want to know, because I can follow up, do something else. Privacy settings, we are expanding this soon. For now, you can show your phone number or location and your email. Soon you will be able to decide for every single information on your site what you want to do, for name, for address, for everything else. You will be able to decide if you want to show it or if you don't want to show it. That will be available, I think, at the end of this month already.